Welcome to Trainz!
Hey there friends, and welcome to Trainz.com. I'm Kevin, and today we'll be reviewing American Flyer. For those of you who are unaware, American Flyer is S-gauge or S-scale, either 1/64 or 3/16 inch. It depends on who you talk to. So today we'll be looking at this 6-48060, which is a Chesapeake and Ohio Mikado 282 steam locomotive. Now, according to the box here, we've got TrainMaster Command Control, we've got RailSounds 5.0 with crew talk communication, and we have a wireless tether connection between the locomotive and the tender, as well as all sorts of fun things like directional lighting, and a really nice drive system. So let's go ahead and open up the box and see what we've got. Styrofoam. We have our owner's manual, which is always nice to have because sometimes there are more features in these locomotives than you would ever think you could fit into something this size at this price. Speaking of price, I believe this one is going for $487 right now at time of filming. Yep, $487.07, down from a regular price of $649.99. So when you buy a pre-owned collectible, you get a really good value. Okay, we've got our nice Lionel blue ribbons here. So we'll try to take that out nice and gentle. And we'll get the locomotive out as well. Other stuff in the box, we have our silica gel, our desiccant, don't eat it. We have some wiring here. And it looks like, what is this, smoke fluid? Yeah, smoke fluid. All right. So let's take off the plastic and see what we've got. Now, for those of you who know about your locomotives, a Mikado, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. If you are World War II, they called them the MacArthur because they didn't want to have a Japanese name. The story goes that the 282 wheel arrangement was called Mikado because it was an order for Japan. And at the time, there was a popular Gilbert and Sullivan opera called the Mikado. So there's your history lesson. You can go ahead and mark that off in your AP Train history. Let's get this pointed in the correct direction here. Around we go. All right, so for those of you who do not know, a 282 wheel arrangement is typical for a freight locomotive. 2 leading wheels to help it through curves at a slower speed, 8 driving wheels, and in this instance, you can see that those drivers are not very tall. That means low speed but high torque. And then 2 trailing wheels underneath the firebox. Tender looks a lot like a USRA standard tender, which would not surprise me because the 282 was a USRA design, or there was a USRA 282. This one, you can actually see we've got some chains hanging from the trucks. I don't know if you can see that, which is pretty cool to see. We got a nice, pretty good molded coal load there. And on the back of the tender, it actually tells us how much water in gallons and how many tons of coal, as well as this nice little backup light. Now on to the main event here, the locomotive itself. We have our front coupler, headlight, bell. We have this nice line running from the bell to the cab. Smokestack, and if you look inside you can see that this is equipped for smoke. This would be our sandbox here. And you can kind of see we've got some molded sand lines on the boiler. Our steam dome, whistle, safety valves. This would be our turbo generator, I do believe, there. And let's take a look. The cab, you got some detail in there. It doesn't seem that there's any color to pick out like valves or anything, but there's still more detail in there than just a plain, you know, lump of steel. We do have our fireman and engineer in there. Now this particular example is number 1068, 1068, on the side of the smoke box, wrong end, firebox, smoke box. On the side of the smoke box we have builder plates, and then we can see the steam pipe down to the cylinders there. Underneath, you can see a little bit of the electrical pickups there, wipers for the driver wheels, and on the trailing trucks there. This fine freight locomotive will make an excellent addition on your S-gauge layout or S-scale layout. Why don't you tell me in the comments, S-gauge, S-scale? I'm thinking it's S-scale. And this would be great at the head of mixed freight, just kind of chugging along the track. If you're looking for this locomotive, now keep in mind that these are filmed in advance, so we may have sold out by now, but you can look for 6-48060 on the website, or if you're looking for this particular example, the SKU is 5790271. If you put that in the search engine at Trainz.com, if we have it, it'll pop this up. And at time of filming, we are a list price of $649.99, but this one is available for $487.07. So this is a great chance to get a nice locomotive at a good value. And until next time, keep your rails clean.
Trainz.com, making dreams come true, one train at a time.